This is Elliot with InVideo, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can set up and leverage YouTube ads for your business in 2021. I've spent thousands on YouTube ad campaigns over the last few years for my business, and in this video we'll cover everything from what you need to set up YouTube video ads to targeting the right audience. I'll also be showing you how you can create highly effective YouTube video ads even if you've never created an ad before. Sounds exciting? Let's get started. First things first, I just want to clarify that you don't need a YouTube channel to start running YouTube ads. As YouTube is owned by Google, all you need to start running YouTube ads is a Google Ads account. So you can head over to ads.google.com to go and create one of these. From here, all you need to do is just click on Start Now. From here, all you need to do is click on Create Account and then click on to Manage My Business. Then all you need to do is enter in your first name, your last name, enter in an email address and choose a password. Your email address doesn't have to be a Gmail account, it can be any email address that you want to use. Once you have entered this information in, just go and click on Next. You will then be asked to verify your email address. So just go and head over to your email account, go and find the email from Google that will have a 6-digit code. Go and copy that code, and then all you need to do is just go and paste it in where it says enter code. Then just go and hit verify. Then you need to go and verify your phone number. So just go and enter in a phone number, and once you have entered in your phone number, just go and click on next. Google will then text you a verification code, so just go and enter in that verification code and click on verify. Then you just need to enter in your date of birth and your gender and click on next. It will then ask you if you want to use your phone number for some other services. You don't have to do this, so we're just going to go and click on skip. It will then just ask you to set up some personalization settings. These are not that important, so just go and choose one and click on next. Google will then just ask you to confirm your personalization settings, so just have a read through this, and if you're happy with everything, just click on confirm. You will then be asked to accept the privacy and terms, so once again just read through this, and if you agree with them, just click on I agree. It will then ask you to add your business profile. Now this is not that important right now, so we are just going to go and click on not now. So once you have set up your Google Ads account, you are ready to start creating your first YouTube ads campaign. Now before we go any further, I just want to explain the hierarchy of a YouTube ads campaign so you can fully understand the ins and outs of YouTube ads before you actually start running the campaign. So when you set up a YouTube ads campaign within Google Ads, it is split into 3 different areas. So you have the campaign itself, then you have an ad group, and then you have the ad. So the campaign itself is basically where you select the goal of your ads campaign. So your goal could be to drive more sales, to drive more leads, to get more website traffic, to get more app installs. So this is basically what is the purpose of running your ads. The ad group is basically who are you targeting for your ads? Who is your audience? So this can be defined by a few different things. So this could be the age of your demographic, what type of YouTube channels do they watch, different keywords that might be related to your business. So like I said, this is basically who is your target audience. And then finally you have the ad. So this is basically the ad creative itself. So for YouTube ads, this is going to be the video creative that you use and the copy that you use. So now that you've understood the hierarchical structure of a YouTube ads campaign, let's get into actually setting it up. So once you have set up your Google Ads account, it should look a little something like this. Now what we are going to do is we are going to go down here where it says switch to expert mode. So that way we can go a little bit more in depth when setting up a YouTube ads campaign. So click on switch to expert mode over here. Once you click on this, your screen should look like this. So now you can go and pick the goal for your campaign. Now personally, I prefer not to choose any of these goals because sometimes Google can go and place your ad in some strange places where you probably won't get any meaningful traffic or any meaningful clicks. So what you can go and do is you can just go and click on this over here where it says create a campaign without a goals guidance. So just go and click on this. So now you should be able to see a few different campaign types. So when it comes to running Google Ads, they have quite a few different options for running ads on their platform. So you'll see search, display, video, app, smart, and a few different other ones. Now, because you're running a YouTube ads campaign, you're going to want to select video over here. So select video, and now from here, it's going to say select a campaign subtype. So the campaign subtype is basically the types of ads that you can run on YouTube. So if you have a look on YouTube, there's a few different areas where you will see ads. So you'll see the ads at the beginning of the videos, you'll see ads that are the skippable ads in the middle of videos, you'll see ads at the end of videos, and you'll see ads actually on the videos themselves. So there are loads of different types of ads that you can run through YouTube. So this is where you can go and pick these different types of ads. Now personally, I would just go and stick with the default, which is custom video campaign. And that basically means that you can go and differ and change where you run the ads. So now you can actually go and start setting up the campaign itself. So you can go and change the campaign type if you want to. Just bear in mind that if you do change your campaign type from a video campaign, then you won't be running your ads on YouTube anymore. You'll just be running them on Google. So you can go and click the pencil icon if you want to change to a different type of Google Ads service. Next up, you have the campaign name. And when it comes to naming your campaigns, just name it something simple. So you can just go and name it YouTube, then the name of your brand, and then the name of the product that you're trying to promote. So you can see over here, we've got YouTube, then we've got Finley Bryce, so that's the brand name. Then we've got brand awareness. So for this type of ad campaign, we'd just be running it to go and bring some brand awareness. We're not actually expecting any conversions or sales. We're just trying to build some social proof and some following to the actual brand itself and bring awareness to the brand. So you can always go and add conversion or traffic or lead to the end as well, so you know exactly why you're running the campaign. Next up, you have the bid strategy. So there are two different bid strategies that you can go and pick when it comes to YouTube ads. So firstly, you'll have cost per view. So this is basically the maximum amount you'll pay for someone to actually view your video, or you can go for cost per 1,000 impressions. So the maximum amount that you would pay for 1,000 impressions. Now personally, I think you should stick with cost per view, so that way you only pay once somebody actually views your video. And if someone views your video, then that means they're more likely to go over to your site, or at least they have been made aware of your brand. Whereas if you pay for impressions, you could get loads of impressions, but no one's actually ever really paying attention to the video. An impression just means it's being shown to them for a very brief period. So you could go and get thousands and thousands of impressions, but no one's ever actually viewed your video. So like I said, I recommend to stick with maximum CPV for your bid strategy. So just go and leave that as that. So now over here we have the budget and the dates. So you can go and set your budget as a campaign total, or you can go and set a daily budget. Now personally, I recommend to set a daily budget if you're just starting out. So that way you can go and monitor your ads every single day, see how they're performing. If they're not performing very well, you can turn them off, or you can always go and change things to try and optimize them. Whereas if you set a campaign total, you might end up spending your whole budget in 1 or 2 days. I do recommend to run your YouTube ads for at least 5 days to be able to collect some data and see how they perform. So whatever your budget is that you have allocated, just divide that by 5 so you have your daily budget. So let's say you've got $500 to spend on YouTube ads, then your daily budget would be $100 a day. So you can just come over here where it says campaign total, just go and change this to daily, and then in here you can just go and enter in 100. Now like I said, because you want to go and run the ads for 5 days, you've got the start date in here, so then you can go and add an end date for 5 days later. So if I hit edit over here, instead of having no end date, I can just go and select the 23rd, so that way I'll be running the campaign for 5 days. Next up, you have the networks. So this is where your ads will actually show. Now personally, I recommend just to go and have it on YouTube videos. I wouldn't say to have it on YouTube search results. So YouTube search results basically means when somebody searches for something, your video might show up at the top, but generally no one ever clicks on those videos. So I would just recommend to untick this and just leave it as YouTube videos. I would also recommend to untick the video partners on the display network. Usually these are sort of random websites that are associated with Google. I don't personally think that any traffic or views that comes from those types of sites is very useful. So personally, I would recommend just to turn off the video partners on display network. So you've just left your network as YouTube videos. Next up, you have your locations. So you can go and decide where you want to run your ads. So you can go for all locations and territories if you have a product that you can sell to any country in the world. But if you do have a product or service that you're trying to target towards a specific country, then you can go and choose that. So if we go and click on enter another location over here, then we can go and type in another country. So for example, if I go and type in United States over here, now you can even get a little bit more specific than that, and you can go and target cities or states. So for example, if I come in here and I type in London, then I can go and choose London in the United Kingdom. So once you have chosen your location, you can scroll down and you can go and choose your language. So go and choose the language that is applicable to your business. So I'm going to come in here and just go and choose English. And like I said, you can go and choose a multitude of different languages. Now don't worry if you've picked other countries, you can then just go and choose different languages as well, because sometimes you might have a particular group of people that speak a certain language in one country. So for example, there are a large number of Spanish speakers in the US, so you could go and pick Spanish as your language. So now if you scroll down, you will see this content exclusions over here. So this basically means you can exclude where your YouTube videos are shown. So some YouTube channels have explicit content that requires people over the age of 18 to actually sign in and watch the video. So if you don't want your ad to be shown on those types of videos, you can actually go and exclude this. So if you go over here where it says standard inventory, if you go to limited inventory, that means it won't show your ad on any videos that contain explicit content. Whereas if you go for expanded inventory, it basically means that your YouTube ads will be shown on any type of YouTube ad regardless of the content. This is really up to how you want your brand to be perceived, because sometimes customers can be a bit funny with where they actually see your ad. So if they see your ads on explicit content, they might think that your business is associated with that type of content. So personally, I would recommend just go with standard inventory, and that will just go and show your ads on most YouTube channels, but not any YouTube channels with overly explicit content. So once you have chosen your inventory type, then you can also go and exclude types and labels. So once again, this is a similar thing. So if we go and open this up over here, firstly, you can go and stop your ads being shown on embedded YouTube videos or live streaming videos. Now I recommend to actually go and turn this on, because usually embedded videos, people watch those for a very specific reason. So for example, when a YouTube video is embedded in a blog, they might just be watching a small segment of that video to go and find a piece of information, and they're probably not really interested in your ad. And the same goes with live streaming. Usually when people are watching live streaming, they're not really too interested in any ads that show up. So like I said, I recommend just ticking these so that your ads don't show on these types of videos. Once again, you can also exclude your ads from being shown on explicit types of content. So for example, any videos that are a mature audience, you could go and tick this, and then your ads won't be shown on any videos that include a mature audience. So really this depends on the type of product or service that you're selling and how you want your brand to be perceived. So if you don't think it matters too much to your business, don't worry about ticking any of these, you can just leave them as default. So we're just gonna go and close this now. So now over here, we have the related videos. So related videos basically means that you can add other videos from YouTube below your YouTube video ad, so that it sort of blends in and makes it look like you're associated with that type of content. So let's say you're running a YouTube video ad for a web design service, then you could come in here and you could go to related videos, and what I could go and do is, let's say how to build a website with WordPress. I could go and add that as a related video under my content. So let's say this one over here, how to make a website in 10 minutes. So when my video ad runs, and my video ad is for web design services, my video ad will show up here, and below my video ad, this video will show as well. So when it comes to related videos, you need to add 2 different types of videos. So maybe you want to have a look at 2 different videos that are related to your niche, and then you can go and add them under your video ads. So for now, I'm just going to go and click on cancel on this, because like I said, I don't think this is that necessary, but you can always go and test it if you want to. So now we can actually start setting up the ad group. Now, if you remember, the ad group is who is your actual target audience. So over here, when it comes to naming your ad group, I recommend just to go and name your ad group after who you're going to be targeting. So you can see over here, I've just put UK, London, 23 to 35, and I've put in the roommates over here. So the way YouTube ads work is you can actually go and add your ads to a specific YouTube channel. So if you've got any specific YouTube channels where you want to go and run your ads, you can go and add that to your ad group name. So if we scroll down, we have demographics over here. So you can go and choose your demographics. So you can go and choose the gender. So let's just say I wanted to go and choose males. And you can see over here, we've got age 23 to 35. So what I can actually do is I could just go and turn all of these off over here, and we could just leave it from 18 to 34. And that will include the 23 and the 24 age bracket as well. Then you can go for parental status. So it depends on what type of product you're trying to sell. So think about who your target audience is and who your ideal customer is. So I'm just going to go for not a parent here. And then you've got household income. Now, if household income is grayed out for you like it is for me here, you will see this note down the bottom just saying household income targeting is only available for selected countries. So because I've selected the UK, this isn't available, but if you're running ads in the US, this should be available. Now down the side here, you will see the available impressions. So you will see this is sort of your audience size. So depending on the type of things that you pick for your demographic, this will get a little bit smaller. So you don't want this to be too small. I think 57 million is probably still too big, but once we start to narrow some other things down within the ad group, this should get a little bit smaller. So once you've chosen your demographic, now you can go into audiences. So from here, you can go and choose specific interests that your audience might be interested in. Now, if you can't think of anything off the top of your head, you can just go to browse over here, and then you can go and choose some things that are related to your audience. So if you go into what are their interests and habits, you can go and choose different interests. So we could just go and choose something like shoppers over here, and then once again you will be able to see that the impressions have come down to 49 million now. So you can go and choose some different interests based on your niche. There are some other cool things that you can do within here. So if we go to who they are, you can go to marital status, you've got education, you've got employment, you also have some other areas over here. So if we go and have a look in what are they actively researching, so we go to life events, you can go and see different life events. So you've got moving, new pets, purchasing a home, retiring. So there are loads of really cool things that you can go and do for YouTube ads to go and define your audience. Now this takes a little bit of trial and error, so just go and pick some things that might be related to the niche for your business. So once you have defined your audience, now you have over here is keywords, topics, and placements. So when it comes to keywords, you can go and enter in some keywords that are related to the niche of your business, but you can also use this enter related website to generate keyword ideas. So if I just go and enter in suit supply over here, and it should go and generate some keyword ideas for me. So once the keywords are generated, it will give you a relevance score. So I think anything over 65 is pretty decent. So I could go for men's suit, I could go for men's suits NYC, I could go for best suit, where to buy cheap men's suits. So you can go and once again use a little bit of trial and error and just go and figure out which keywords work best for your YouTube ads. Now you don't have to necessarily add in keywords if you don't want to. So you can see as I enter in some of these keywords, it's bringing my impressions down quite significantly. So I could think about getting rid of some of these because I don't want my audience size to be too small. So I'm actually just going to leave the keywords blank, because personally I think it's better to use the placements over here when you actually look to go and run your ads. So before we look at placements, I just want to go and show you topics. So if we go to topic over here, you can go and select different topics that you want your ads to run on. So then they will go and run your ads on YouTube channels that are related to these topics. So let's just say I go and pick beauty and fitness. So we can see our impressions have changed to 1.1 million. So now any channels that are related to beauty and fitness, that is where our YouTube ads will run. Now once again, you don't have to do this. This isn't mandatory. So I'm just going to go and untick this because I think placements is the most powerful way to actually go and run your YouTube ads. So with placements, you can go and run your YouTube ads on specific YouTube channels and on specific YouTube videos. So if there are any channels that create a lot of content and that content is related to the types of products you can sell, you can run your ads on those channels. And this is a really powerful way to go and get your product or service in front of the right audience. So if we just come into YouTube channels over here, and I can go and type in the name of a YouTube channel. So if I go and type in the roommates like this, and we can see we've got the roommates over here. So if I go and choose this now, and we can go and see, so the impressions have come down a fair bit. So this is if you want to have a super laser targeted audience and you know exactly who your ideal customer is and what type of content that they want to consume, then you can go and pick those channels to run your ads. So once again, if I just get rid of this now, I can go and choose another channel. So once again, if I just come into YouTube channels and I just go and search for another channel, which is teaching men's fashion, which is another sort of men's fashion based channel, I could go and choose this. So now we can see my impressions have gone up to 10K. So you can go and choose around 10 different channels to run your ads on. You can also enter in the URL of a specific channel to go and run your ads on. Once again, this is a really powerful method. So let's say I wanted to run my video ads on this video here, which is another channel based around men's fashion and fitness and health, which is an Alpha M video. I can actually go and grab the URL over here. I can head back to my Google Ads campaign. I can go and paste that URL in here, and then I can go to YouTube videos. So if we click on YouTube videos over here, we will see that we've got the YouTube video. So I can go and choose this. So it's not really going to bump up my impressions too much because the video has only got 100K views. But like I said, if there's a really specific video that you want to run your ads on, this is a really great way to go and target a laser targeted audience. Now I recommend for you to keep adding channels until your impressions get up to around 200 to 250K. So then you've got a nice decent size of impressions to actually show your ad in front of. Now finally, you have your bidding strategy over here, which is the maximum cost per view bid. Now you need to think about how much are you actually making per conversion, and that will help you to decide what this should actually be. Now once again, you can go and use some trial and error for this when running your YouTube ad campaigns. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what you should pay for your maximum cost per view because it really depends on the type of product or service that you are selling. However, I do recommend just starting out with something small, depending on what the business is and how much you are making per conversion. So I recommend just starting out with something like 15 cents per view. So once you have sorted out your bidding strategy, you are finally ready to start going and creating your video ads. Now, when it comes to actually creating the video ad creative, we firstly need somewhere to actually upload the video. So don't worry, as I said, you don't need a YouTube channel, but you do need to actually upload your video ad to YouTube so that it is hosted on the platform. So you kind of have a YouTube channel, but it's not an actual YouTube channel. So in order to do this, it will say if your video isn't hosted on YouTube, go to YouTube and upload your video. So we will be going and creating the video ad in a moment, but before we do this, let's just go and finish this step. So go and click on this where it says go and upload your video. And once you click on this, it's going to take you through a few steps so you can sort of create a YouTube channel so you can at least upload your video ad. So just go and name your channel after your business. Now you can go and upload a picture if you want to, you don't have to, but it's really easy to go and create a picture. You can just go over to canva.com, create a canvas that's 1080 by 1080 pixels, and then just go and add your logo to that. Once you then go and download that image, you can just go and hit upload picture and upload that image, and it will just have your logo in the middle. So once you have gone and done this, then just go and click on create channel. So now that you've done this, it is going to say select a video to upload. So now we can actually go and create our video ad creative to upload. So in order to create the video ad creative, we will be using InVideo.io for 3 simple reasons. Firstly, there are over 4,000 video ad templates that you can use, so you can get your video ad created super quickly. Secondly, InVideo has a built-in multimedia library with over 1 million royalty-free images and video clips that you can use for your video ads. And finally, InVideo has a super intuitive video editor, so you can go and create videos within minutes, even if you've never edited a video in your life. So head over to InVideo.io, I will leave a link in the description, and all you need to do is just go and click on sign up to create a free account, enter in some of your details, and then click on continue. Once you have done that, you can now go and search through the thousands of video templates that you can use to create your video ad. So firstly, just make sure that you have chosen the wide aspect ratio, because this is perfect for running video ads on YouTube. Next up, you can use the search bar to search for a niche that's related to your business, so then you can find a template that you can use for your video ad. So if I just type in men's fashion, I can then just go and search for all of the templates related to men's fashion. So once you have done this, you can go and look through all of the different templates and just go and find one that you like the look of. Now don't worry if it isn't perfect, because you can go and edit every single part of the template using InVideo. So I really like the look of this template here. So once you have found a template, just go and click on use this template. Now from here, you can go and edit the template completely. So we can start off just by changing any of the colors on the template. So if we go to change project colors over here, you can completely change the colors on the template. So let's just say I want to go and change this whole template to black. I can just go and do that by choosing these colors. You can then also go and change the footage on the templates. So if you go to video over here, you can go and search through the stock library to find some footage that you like, or alternatively, you can go and upload your own footage to use. So I'm just gonna go and search in tuxedo over here and hit enter. And I have found this stock footage that I like the look of, so I can just go and drag this over here. Now just bear in mind that this scene is 5 seconds long, so I'm just going to go and drag this on here and then hit replace, and now it's going to ask me to go and trim the footage. So because my first scene is 5 seconds, I'm just going to go and trim this down to 5 seconds. So we can go and enter in 05 in there, and then we can go and enter in 00, and then we can go and click on done. I can then go and move to my second scene and do the exact same thing. You can also go and edit the captions completely. So if we just go and click on this caption over here, instead of having tailor-made suits, I could go and say custom-made suits, and you can also go and change the font. So if we go to font over here, you can go and search for any font that you want. So if I just go and type in Josephine Sands, let's say, for example, I can go and use this font. So of course, I recommend using a font that you are using on your website, so you keep your branding consistent with your video ads. Now for your call to action, I recommend that you go and upload your logo to your video ad. So you can go to logos over here, and then what you can do is you can just go and click on upload logo. Once your logo has uploaded, you can just go and drag it over here, and you can then go and resize it. So I recommend just making it a little bit bigger so it really stands out, so your audience gets used to seeing your logo. You can also go and change the name of your website. So just make sure that it is the name of your website. And finally, you can go and change the music using InVideo. So if you don't like the music over here, you can go into the music library and you can go and find some music that better represents your brand. So if we were just to go into chill out over here, we can go and find something cool. And what you can do is you can click on these three dots and you can just go and click on replace music. Now when it comes to the length of the video ad itself, it really depends on the type of product or service you are trying to promote. But I personally don't recommend having a video ad longer than 30 seconds because people get bored very quickly and they'll end up just skipping your ad if it isn't super captivating. Now once you have finished editing your video, just click on download and share and then click on export. Once your video has finished exporting, you can just go and click on download. So now that that video has finished downloading, you can go back to where it says to upload your video on your YouTube channel. So go and click on select file, navigate to your video that you just downloaded from InVideo, and then just go and click on open. Your video will then upload. You can go and add a title, so this will be shown, so just go and add something appropriate. So I think you can just go and enter in the name of your brand, and then you can just go and add a tagline. So you can see over here I've just put in Finley Rice, effortless tailor-made suits. Then you can just go and click on next. Don't worry about putting a description or adding a thumbnail because this is going to be a YouTube ad, so those don't really matter. So we can just go and click on next. You can go and tick whether it's made for kids or not. So I'm just going to go and say it's not made for kids and click on next. Don't worry about adding any video elements, so just go and click on next. You shouldn't have any copyright issues, so that should be totally fine. Go and click on next again. And then what you're going to want to do is just go and put this as a public video. Now, before you go and hit publish, make sure that you go and copy the video link. So just go and click copy video link here and then just go and hit publish. So now you've copied the URL to your YouTube video ads. You can just go and head back to your Google Ads account, and then where it says search for video ad or paste URL, just go and paste that URL in here. So now it's going to go and find your ad over here, and then you can go and pick where your ad shows. So we're going to go and choose skippable in-stream and also video ad discovery. Now you can't go and choose bumper ad if your video is longer than 6 seconds. So then you can go and choose the thumbnail of your video when it goes and shows up like this. So I'm just going to go and choose mine as this default one over here. So it's just got that caption mentioning the custom made suits. Now you can then go and add a headline and a description. Then you can just go and add in your description. So just bear in mind, you only got 35 characters. So just keep it short and sweet. So I've just put in the brand name, effortless style, and then over here, affordable times class. So then you can go and choose your ad name. Now just bear in mind that your ad name will show up on the ad when it's running. So go and name it something that still has your brand name in so that customers are constantly seeing your brand name. So once you have gone and done that, all you then need to do is just click on create campaign. You will see the estimated performance over here. So that will give you an idea of how much it's going to cost you and how many impressions you will get on your video ads. Now for this final segment of the video, I just want to show you how you can go and look at some of the data once you have started running your YouTube ad campaigns. So here is a YouTube ad campaign and I've only gone and spent £20, so it's quite small. So we're just going to go and have a look at some of the data just to give you an idea of the types of data that you can go and view when you run your YouTube ad campaign. So if we scroll down here, one of the first things you're going to want to look at is your audience retention, because this will tell you if you need to change up your video ad creative. So you can see for this particular video over here, it's an 18-second long video, but you can see this massive drop off at 5 seconds. So a huge amount of people aren't watching the video any longer than 5 seconds. So that means I probably need to switch up the creative because people aren't really that interested or that engaged. So you want to go and try and change your clips every 4 to 5 seconds. But maybe even for this video, it means that the first 5 seconds of the video, maybe it's a little bit boring. So I might want to go and change it to something else a little bit more engaging and try different creative ideas. So that is the first thing you're going to want to look at, because you really want people to be watching the whole amount of your video so you can go and get your brand and your product across to them and really convince them to make a purchase or become a lead. And the second piece of data that you can look at that's really important is the placements. So you can see over here, these are the selected placements that I chose to show this video ad. So you can go and see which one is performing the best, and then you can just go and get rid of some of the other placements on your campaign. So if we just go into placements over here, and then you can go and see that this top video over here, so this is get abs in 2 minutes. This is where I got the most impressions and I got the most clicks. So this is just a very startup campaign, so you can see we only got 3 clicks so far. So it's very small and just testing out different videos. But what I would actually recommend doing in this case scenario is just go and turn off all of the other videos, because because they're not really performing that well, and then continue on with this one and then try and add in some more placements to see how they perform. So go and test out your ad on different channels, on different specific videos with different keywords, and you'll be able to go and see as you run the ads which ones are performing better, which ones are getting you more views, and which ones are getting you more clicks, and eventually which ones are getting you more purchases. If we go back over here, you can also go and look at the locations. So for this particular ad, I only targeted the United States, but if you do go to targeted locations and you've targeted multiple different countries or multiple different cities or states, you can go and look at which one of those countries or locations is performing the best, and then the ones that are not performing well, once again, you can just go and remove them. You can then go and add in some other locations, some other cities, some other states, and then see how they perform. So it really is all about trial and error, but once again, use the data to your advantage, so you can go and get rid of anything that's not working, and then you can go and test new things to try and figure out what works for your business. One other key thing that you want to look at is just up the top here. These are sort of your general stats. So you can see we've got 2K impressions, 15% video view rate, and £10 per 1,000 impressions. So of course you want to try and keep your video view rate as high as you can. 15% is not that high. So once again, if it's dropping below 25%, you really want to try and keep it close to 50% if you can. You want to go and switch up your video ad creative and maybe try something a little bit more engaging, or just try something different. Unfortunately, there is no one size fits all when it comes to YouTube ads. So just keep testing out different things, and as you progress through using YouTube ads, you will become better at them and you will start to see more results for your business. And that is how you run YouTube ads. If you have enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you check out our other ad guides on Facebook ads and Snapchat ads, so you can start driving genuine traffic for your businesses. This is Elliot with InVideo, and I'll see you in one of the next videos.